I am the week after Mother's Day and everything is still so lush and fresh. I'm picking these white roses and they're old fashioned, so they have little flowers. And I want to make sure I don't take up the whole vase with just these roses because I have at least 4 or 5 other flowers I want to do besides roses. So this is just the first thing. And although I have kind of a big vase, I don't want it all to be roses. So I'm going to set those aside. And let me pick at least one more of those. Let's see. This is a nice big, let's see, that's a tall one. This is going to bloom sooner. I think I'm going to take this. Oh yeah, I think that'll be great. But I don't need all these ones on the bottom. I need the long stems. So I'm going to cut off all these leaves. Okay. Well, that ought to make a nice center. Now let's go find something else for the rest of it. I'm going to leave those there for now. These are great iris, don't you think? Yeah. Stand there and be good. But I've got to find some that haven't really bloomed yet. They only last a day or two. There's one. I can always shorten that stem, but I'm going to clip him down low for now and put that there in the middle to stand up so he doesn't get damaged. Here's one that hasn't bloomed right there. Oh, that's a good one. And maybe one more. The eye likes threes. Here's one that hasn't bloomed. Okay, so I have a favorite greenery over here called Solomon Seal. And it's a variegated leaf. It's already bloomed. But it's such a pretty leaf that I think we ought to have a few of those. So I'm going to pick 3 of those. I'm going to stick them in the side, pull a few of these leaves off. Don't need those. There. Let's go over to the side of the house and get some ferns that I noticed were just fully out today. Spring is beautiful this week. The evenings have been cold, so the flowers are lasting longer outside. If it was really hot, I might be picking them faster, because it might be cooler inside. But this is a very cool spring. These ferns are lovely. Let's pick some where there are a lot of them. Over here. Pick some that just unfurled today. Oh, there's a little one. That'll be good for our arrangement. Here's a lot of ferns. Nobody will miss a couple from over here. There's one that fell over. Let's just rescue him right now. He has an interesting shape anyway. That part will go down in the water. We don't need it. And let's see, while we're over here, maybe one more. There's one back there that's very young. Oh, yes. So perfect. peel off those leaves that'll be below the water anyway. And that's all we need of that.
You're on.
Now I like these hostas, even though they aren't blooming, they have the most beautiful leaves. I think they'll make a great base for this flower arrangement. So I'm going to pick some what look like near perfect leaves and make them work for us at the base of our flower arrangement. And since we want threes, I'm looking for a perfect third one, and there it is. Oh, that's not perfect. You're right. Still, I don't know. Nope, there's a really perfect one over there. I'm going to take this one. No. Maybe that one. No, this one. Boy, it's hard to choose. Now that I said I wanted perfect ones, I keep finding flaws. And then the other thing I want to get for this arrangement, oddly enough, is clover. I have some rather long-stemmed red clover, and it's an interesting accent for a flower arrangement, so we're going to go for it. I think we ought to pick 7 to 9 stems on this because we want it to be good and present when they really bloom. This one isn't quite open, so we're going to take it. Nice long stems. Here's a nice one. So there's 3 really good ones. I'm going for a bunch more. And here's a nice long one. And there are several here that'll get trampled if I don't pick them. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. They're in the middle of the walkway. Here's one that hasn't bloomed out yet that's very tall. And again, some in the walkway that I worry about because they're so pretty, and I'm afraid that I'll just be running after the cat and then they'll be gone. So let's see how many we have so far. I like odd numbers, 2, 4, 6, 8, 7, 8, 9. This is going to get trampled, but they're old. Here's one that's young. We'll just pull that. Okay, I think we're done picking flowers today. Okay, so I've got some waterproof florist tape here because I am not sure that I'll be able to get everything to stay where I want it to stay. So I'm going to give it a little grid here at the beginning so that it knows where to be. And with any luck, it won't show. So I'm going to do it leaving a little bit of room in the center of the vase and, of course, some on the sides. I'm going to have to get some actual scissors, I think, on this. But what I want to do is make a triangle of space in the center, and then I'll have an interesting grid pattern to keep the stems in place, and hopefully they won't show. When all this is done. So I'm planning for the hostas to hide this florist tape. You probably won't see this. That's my plan. And even if you do, it's green. So you might, mind's eye might be wondering, what is that other green stuff there? So this is okay. And I think this should be enough, actually. I just wanted a little bit of structure in the center because I've got these unruly roses and they are everywhere. These roses I expect to be the centerpiece, if not what holds everything together. And they're kind of bushy, so I wasn't sure how I would get them to stay in the center if I didn't have a grid. And I don't want any leaves below the bottom of the water, below the top of the water, because that just causes bacteria to form. So that's why I'm peeling those off. I just picked all these, so I shouldn't have to trim too much off. That's about the right height. I just don't want these burrs on the bottom. And I think if I put them in the center here, they should stay where they belong. Let's see. I'll kind of fluff them out, see if they do that. Turn the vase around, see if that's actually going to happen. And it might. Okay, so they seem kind of stable like that. Let's turn it around and be sure about that. Yeah. I think with the help of the hosta leaves and the other things, we'll be able to shore it up. So, speaking of the hosta leaves and the other things, I got these 3 great hosta leaves that I thought would make great bottom for this arrangement. So let's see if I was right. There's another hosta leaf. Let's see if that is gonna do it. Wow, I think I was right about this. Okay, turn it around and find the third one. There it is. There's the third hosta leaf. The mind seems to like 3s. So here we are with 3 hosta leaves to anchor this. I think that's a good start. Now, I've got these great ferns. And they're pretty bushy too. And I think if I put those in between the hosta leaves, it's going to be really effective. But the stems are too long. So, if I move this vase over near the edge of the surface, I see how far I'm going to have to stick that into the vase, and I don't want it going below the bottom. So now I know I can cut off the stem right there. I don't want it going below the surface of the water because that's going to cause bacteria to form prematurely. So there, now, here I am sticking that in there where I thought it would fit. Let's see if I was right. Wow, okay, I like it. Let's see if we can make that happen again with another one of the fern leaves. Oh yeah, okay, so if I stick that in there, I might not even have to cut it. I think I'm just going to go ahead and go for it. Oh yeah, I think that's going to be very good. Now I've got one more fern leaf to stick in here between these other hostas, and it is just a little too long, so I'm going to go ahead and cut about 1.5 inches or 2 inches off of that. Take off the lower 2 fronds of fern leaf that would be below the water line and stick that in there, and that looks great to my eye. Now the next thing I'm going to do is take these Solomon seal that have already bloomed, so it isn't the flowers we're going for. It's this wonderful foliage. And again, I picked 3 because I like 3s. And I think I want these to just kind of be in here between the roses and the ferns, which means the stems are way too long. So I'm going to again move the vase over to the edge of the surface and then put the stem below the surface until I think it's just about where I want it in the vase, and then cut it off, and then it won't be too high. Rip off those bottom leaves, stick that in there near those roses, and fulfill my vision. Well, let's do that again. I've got 3 more of those. Let's see. This one I want to be right there. I want it to be right there. And this is too long. So I think that's the right place. I'm going to cut it right there. This will be below the water line. That's gone. Let's lift up that little rose leaf. In fact, you know what? That has a bunch of holes in it. I'm going to get rid of it. There we go. All right, stick that in there. Oh, that'll be great. Okay. All right, one more. Shall it be right there? I think it shall. I think it's going to be right there. And like right in that hole. So here it is, way too long, like 6 inches too long. So I'm going to do this. Rip that leaf off, and then put it in this hole where I envision it to be. Shove it down there. And how are those roses doing? They're standing right up there. Yeah, they're doing great now because they have all this company in the base. So no matter what way you turn it, those roses are going to look great. Okay, well now we just need some accents. How about stick these poor little iris back in there to get some water while we put in all these big clovers. I have this red clover. Nobody ever has long stem red clover. This is great. That's too long. That's too long. This is too long. There I am, moving that vase over again. And I don't want that up any taller than that. So I'm just going to cut that off there. Stick this in here where there's a hole and I can see. And when that little clover blooms, it'll add a nice dash of pink right there. Need some more right here too. Let's get a big one. Yeah, I think it needs to be that. And this is too long. That looks perfect. And I'm going to stick it right there. And I could even use another one there, don't you think? I think so. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. And right there, we've got red clover. Okay, need a little dash of pink there too, I think. A little dash of pink right there, a little dash of pink. And there it is. There it is. And it isn't enough. It needs another dash of pink. Good thing we picked a lot of these, huh? Okay, that's about right. See how I keep sticking it below the surface of the countertop so that I can make sure that I'm going to get it right where I want it? Yeah. Oh, we could use a dash of pink right there. Here we go. Okay. All right. And that'll be good. Right there. This is unnecessary. We only want that dash of pink. We've got plenty of green. There we go. Okay, and I think we still got a hole right here. And let's do some more pink. And this is, let's see, I think we can go ahead and trim that pretty severely. just stick it in this little space. Like that. Oh, I like that. Okay. So there's one more, two more clovers, and we'll fill some little color holes here. And you see how the tape grid make it easy to catch some of these things that the rose thorns are catching a lot of it. But the floral tape that we put in at the very beginning is capturing a lot of the flowers. Don't want to cover that rose. Little rose is a feature. Okay, there we go. Now the only thing we have left are these 3 iris, and we're going to just strategically place them near the top. It's the only blue element we have. They're the tallest thing. They're going to be the boldest thing when we get up in the morning and see this in the morning light. Those 3 blue iris, along with the new white roses that haven't bloomed yet today, are going to be absolutely spectacular. There we have a very beautiful Mother's Day week flower arrangement from our garden.
That was 20 minutes.
Well, and that's